I would do something a little bit interesting. So I wanted to share this Google spreadsheet that I've done. I started this like a couple of days back. The goal is very simple. Ever since I started playing Asphalt Legends, I've been thinking of ways to like being a free-to-play player, right, a gamer. I didn't want to use any physical money to get anything in the game, all the in-game items, right, which cost money. I mean, some of the things cost money, so it's really to entice players who want to, skip ahead and progress faster. But technically speaking, if you really talk to some of the gamers that actually paid for things, in the game, they will be able to tell you that it's not always, it doesn't it's not always efficient, right? It's not always true that you always get what you are looking for. Being a gamer myself and somebody that has actually uh, put in a lot of money, spent a lot of money on in-game items in the past, like a couple of years ago, I used to do that. I can speak from experience that it doesn't always help, right? It really doesn't always help. So now that I've gained the perspective and appreciation for the value of money, and because of all the struggles that I've been going through on my journey, I realized that it's so much more important to uh, live within our means. I have struggled with debts. I am struggling with debts in my life. Um, and, going through a period of time where I don't have enough money for food and transport and basic things, it really made me appreciate um, the how would I say, it really made me appreciate the fact that it's not easy to make money. It's so easy to spend it. I mean, technically speaking, right? If I have a couple of $1,000 today, if I have $10,000 today, if I really want to spend $10,000 today, I can do it in one afternoon, right? In just a few hours, I can just walk into a Sim Lim Square. Locally, Sim Lim Square is where we buy all our PC stuff, all our digital products. Um, it's so easy to spend that amount of money in just a very short period of time. But to earn that amount of money, it actually takes much longer period of time. To actually save up that same amount of money after you have paid for your necessities and expenses is going to take probably even longer. So the truth is, it's not going to be easy, to earn money, to make money. And one of the things that I really wanted to do, is to help educate young people about the value of money, and hopefully using my own life lessons, my own mistakes, right, failures, to help these young people understand that they have to think about how they are spending their money. Right now, you could be a primary school student, you could be whatever age group you are in, whatever age group, if as long as you are taking pocket money from your parents, the parents are giving you allowance every week, every month, whether you are working, part-time to survive and put yourself through school, whatever situation you're in, it's always important to know how to plan your finances well. um, and the truth is this, I spoke to a lot of parents locally, right? And it is true that a lot of young people, I won't say in general, but a lot of young people don't really know how to plan their finances, because things come easier for them, right? They don't have to really work for it. And because of that, when they lose, when they spend the money, they don't really feel it. They don't really feel the pain, of, you know, I mean, if you have not suffered for something, if you have not paid a price for something, it's kind of hard to really understand the value of it. So I thought, since I'm a gamer myself, I love playing games. I love racing games, in particular Asphalt 9. So I've been playing Asphalt 9 since September this year. Ever since I started the game, I did, make some mistakes, along the way. But I eventually spoke to some of the more seasoned players in my current club, and I began to understand a better way to, you know, plan and strategize how I'm going to use my in-game credits and tokens. So when it comes to in-game credits and tokens, one of the most important thing about free-to-play games is that they tend to make it a lot harder for you to uh, earn the credits and the tokens in game. The items in the game that are available that you can purchase with your in-game credits and tokens are usually very expensive. So the amount that you make in a short period of time usually wouldn't be enough to offset the cost of the in-game items that you're purchasing. So with that in mind, a lot of players probably I've spoken to a few players myself, new players, young players, players that are like one third of my age right now, or half my age. Many of them just treat the game as a game and they just play, and when they earn credits or tokens, they just spend it right away. And when they do spend it, when they do use it, they use 100% of it uh, without actually thinking about, like, would I need this later? So one of the things that I thought about, and I shared this in a social media update yesterday on my Facebook post, my Facebook page, I shared a tip about how I have this rule of thumb right now, and it applies in real life as well. The rule of thumb is that I would, if you look at my little spreadsheet here, what I've done is I've actually calculated how much I've been earning in terms of credits, how much have I been spending since I started tracking it earlier this week. What's my balance right now? So if you look at this little pie chart over here, you can see that 64.3% of everything that I've earned is in my balance. And what I spend, what I've used so far in terms of my credits is only about 35.7%. I'm trying to reduce this by increasing the amount of credits that I'm making. So some of the things that I'm doing includes farming credits. So farming credits, I do stuff like daily car loot. I continue my car hunt, the Centenario car hunt, even though I actually got all the blueprints that I need already. It's maxed out, but I still want to play it because it's a great way to farm tokens. From my experience here, I've realized that when you look at all the different car hunts, all right, let me quickly filter it out. On average, I actually make at least, around say 25,000 credits, for every single 5 races, right? This is a summation of all 5 races, whatever I've made. And you can see from it that, it actually does add a lot, in terms of credits. So this is one of the ways that I'm farming credits. If you're a newer player, daily car load, every race that you win, you can earn some amount of credits as well. So that is a very good way to go. All right. So another thing that I do in my little spreadsheet here is that I'm also tracking my daily earnings and balance. So sure, every day we have the daily goals. Some of the daily goals requires you to purchase an item from the store, the ledger store. It requires you to apply an import part, upgrade a car. So one of the tips I shared is that always leave yourself with some room to breathe. What I mean by that is have a newer car or low class newer car that you just unlock. Don't upgrade it to the max. Leave it, without any upgrades, so that you can use it over time to fulfill your daily goals and get the tokens without spending too much credits on it. So in that sense, you can see that every single day now, so far I've been increasing, right, my daily balance. But I do foresee that this is going to be a plus minus situation whereby some days I might have a little bit more, some days I might have a little bit less. It really depends, on. I would think that it would be quite consistent when you average it out over a period of time. So another thing that I want to do right now, when you think about saving up, saving money uh, in a game, in the settings of a game, one of the things that happens in Asphalt Legends is when you need to get the card packs, right? Featured cards. They do sell it. They do sell these card packs, for 75 tokens per pack, and then sometimes they would give you the opportunity to get 10 packs in a row, which is 750 tokens, and they guarantee like a epic card pack or something like that, where they will drop some epic blueprints for you, for the cars. It's great. But one thing I realized is if you just save just enough to use it and you don't have a leftover, it's like you don't really have the room to breathe to do more if you want to. So one of the things that I decided to do is I'm trying to save up more tokens. My current goal is actually to save up 7,500, which means that I can get 10 times 10 feature car packs, the 10 packs bundle. But even better, I'm trying to resist the urge of using my tokens so that I can reach the next level higher goal of 15,000 tokens. It sounds like a crazy target, but I think it's doable. Now, okay, obviously, if you think about it short term wise, it's kind of boring playing a game and not being able to advance further, and it's just this period of trying to grow my so-called bank account, right? So I'm trying to grow my tokens. I'm trying to grow the credits that I have. So, oh yes, I forgot to mention. Let me go back to the credits. One of the things, in terms of rule of thumb that I have, if I really want to spend my credits on something, or if I really want to upgrade a car, for example, I will. So if I really want to upgrade a car, right, in the garage, I have a lot of cars that have maxed blueprints right now. Blueprints are maxed out, but I haven't upgraded them, right? Because if I really want to upgrade the cars that I have in my garage, it would mean that I have to spend almost everything that I have right now. So that is not an option. My rule of thumb is this: I will only allow myself to spend, say, 30% of the total of what I have, or maximum 40%. So any one time, I will always have 60% of my balance left over. In real life, when you're planning your money, when you want to buy something that you really like, if you're getting allowance from your parents, practice this, save up the money, calculate, okay, so how much does, say you want to get a Xbox game control, right, gamepad, how much does it cost? Based on the amount, that will be 40% of what you need to have in your savings before you actually buy it. That is good because it's always a good practice to do that, because at the end of the day, after you have bought the item, you never know when you need those savings for something important. So it's always good to budget your finances that way, right? So this is my rule of thumb. Now, one of the things that I'm even trying to challenge myself is to keep my total expenses to 25%. That's one quarter of what I have, which means that I would need to have a balance of 75%. I know it's doable. I don't really have a concrete plan on how I'm going to make that happen yet. Um, but yeah, we will see how that goes. Uh, in terms of token, same thing. I am definitely going to aim for more than 7,500 before actually, if I even think about using 7,500 tokens on the feature car packs. So that would mean that I will always have a balance. I will always have a buffer. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I do admit that when I first started this a couple of days ago, when it comes to doing budget sheets like this, expense sheets like this, over the years I have tried doing it even in real world, with my own finances. I have to admit that it wasn't successful. The first couple of times I did it, I just got bored after a while. It was so monotonous. It felt like I was just going through the motion of doing it, and eventually I lost track. I started to lose track of, like maybe $10 that I spent on, or maybe it started with a few cents. It started with a few dollars, grew into a few dollars, $10, $50. I started to lose track of where my money was going because I wasn't diligently updating my budget sheet, my expense sheet. And after a while, I just felt defeated. Like, what, this is not working. I'm losing track of my money again. And I just stopped. Then I tried again. Then it had the same thing happen, and then I stopped. I tried again, the same thing happened, and then I stopped. Um, but yeah, now that I really start to appreciate and understand the value of money these days, I mean, this might just be Asphalt Legends is just a game. In reality, to a lot of people, it is just a game. People play it to enjoy themselves, to unwind, to distress, whatever. But I realized that this free to play games actually is filled with experiences, in-game experiences that we can turn into lessons in life. And the fact that I have gone through a lot of struggles in my life, I've gone through a lot of pain and mistakes in my life, and I realized that when I was playing this game, there are so many lessons I can relate to, and so I wanted to make use of it to talk about lessons like this, like saving up your money, budgeting, um, needs versus wants. When you talk about needs versus want in a game, for example, um, well, if I want to, I can upgrade all the cars in the garage again, but it would then require me to use up most of what I have, right? That's one. Need would be if I want to use a particular car in a car hunt, or if I need to use a particular car in the career mode. Do I want to upgrade it? Is it really a necessity right now? Can I wait until I have more credits before I upgrade it? So I would think about whether it's really a need to me. In real life, when you think about your finances, you think about your expenses. Same thing. Needs are things that you cannot do without. For example, mobile bills. You need to pay your mobile bills every month, so that you can stay in communication with your loved ones, your friends. So that is a necessity. Transport, food, these are necessities. Eating at an expensive restaurant, that is not a necessity. That is a nice to have. It's a want. Um, you know, Buying something that you don't really need right now, just for enjoyment, that is a want. I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy your life. You should. We work really hard every day so that we can enjoy our lives, right? We should enjoy our lives, but it shouldn't be at the expense of making you broke. I think that's very important. A lot of people today are in credit card debts, including myself, because a lot of people find that it's convenient to spend the money that they don't have. right? They are using credit cards because they are saying, they are telling the bank, pay for me first, I'll pay you back later. But the thing is this, because of this convenience, and the instant uh, feeling of being able to do something, the instant gratification, a lot of young people have gone overboard. It becomes something that they couldn't control. And eventually, when they start owing one bank, they would get another credit card just to pay the first bank, the previous. So I didn't do that, but you read a lot of stories about true stories about how people are doing that, and that is the case. That's the case today. So it's very very bad, very bad. So never ever do that. You know, I mean, to me, credit cards, sure, there are rebates. I get it. But if I ever in my life want to get a credit card again, it's only because I have a lot of balance in my bank account. I have tons of money. I'm not worried about not being able to pay my credit card bills. If I really want to buy something with a credit card, I know that right the next moment I can, straight away pay it off. I won't have to wait until tomorrow. I won't have to wait until next month. I don't have to wait until the bill comes, right? So that is the only reason why I would use a credit card. Um, because Okay, so in reality, debit cards, that's another form. I love the convenience of debit card because it functions like a credit card, but in the forms, in a way that the credit card only works if there is enough funds in your bank account. So you can't use a debit card to buy something in advance, which is good because then it will make sure that you are spending within your means. So these days, I am really more of a debit card and a cash kind of person. It helps me to be a lot more aware about where I'm really putting my money. And I do question myself very strictly, like, do I really need to spend money on this item? If I don't really need to, I will not put the money in my bank account for the auto deduction to happen. So that is a very, very good way to practice. I would say that, in terms of financial management in real life, I'm not successful yet. I mean, things are better, things are improving for me now in terms of the way I view my money, the way I view managing it. Um, that has improved. I know that has improved. So although I haven't reached the point where I have a lot of money in my bank account, so I can share that, I think it's a good way to get started in terms of managing your finances. Especially if you are in school, you are taking allowance from your parents. Now that learn to ask yourself, do I really need this right now, or is this something that I just want to have? It's nice to have, and I think that nice to have items. Do it when you have an abundance. I mean, it's never too late to enjoy life, but yeah, don't squander it. Don't squander it. If you think about Asphalt Legends, what I'm doing here, with my tokens and credits. The good thing is that maybe in the short term, I might lose out on some of the opportunities, some of the featured cars, the really good cars that I just couldn't get, right now because I don't have enough yet. Um, but in the long run, maybe there's some really nice featured new car, uh, a few months from now. By that time, I would have perhaps all the credits that I need and abundance of it, and I can just pour what I have into what I really want at the time when others probably might not have enough, you know. So that would be a plus, right? Suffer now, enjoy later. So that is something that I've really learned and something that I was thinking about yesterday, in Chinese we say 先苦后甜, meaning work hard today, enjoy tomorrow, this sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope that by sharing this lesson today, it will really help you guys, um, wherever you are, to think about your finances, and how you're actually spending it. And hopefully, this will help you to lead a better life. Really, I think that these lessons should help you to lead a better life. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. Do leave me a comment below. To like the video if you think that this is helpful to you, and let me know what you think. Bye.